Right, hi guys. Think we should be there. Should be live. Gotta do the sharing out as always. As you can gather by the stream title, if you joined before, I just changed the title to see if you basically I'm gonna be talking about UFC 251 and Dillian Whyte sacking Mark Tibbs and maybe various boxing news. I might do this stream weekly or fortnightly. Might be weekly Sunday. Sunday being that most boxing happens Friday, Saturday in the UK, so I can catch up with Sunday. And yeah, so 2 seconds, guys, and I'll get into it. Two seconds, guys. Right, so as we know by now, and I'm slightly not being there, but you know, not being there, but I'm doing a stream now, and I'm there a few days ago, I think. This article is from today. Dillian Whyte sacked Mark Tibbs. When I heard the news, I wasn't too surprised. This boxing, we should know that nothing surprises anyone in boxing. What I mean by that is anything can happen. I mean, we seen David A start to manage Derek Chisora, and a few months earlier, if it were going at it in February. So Dillian Whyte split with Mark Tibbs. By now we all know that this was via his lawyer. His lawyer sacked him. And my opinions are that I'm disappointed, very disappointed that he had to contact him via his lawyer. And I know he's got a fight with Povetkin coming up. I know he's focused on training, but I would have liked him to have told him himself, because I think even though there's no loyalty in boxing, I think that what Mark Tibbs done for Dillian Whyte over the years has been great. He's turned him into a arguably world-class fighter, top 4 in the world. Most people have him 3 or 4, depending on what you think. And yeah, Mark Tibbs joined Dillian Whyte after the Anthony Joshua fight, and obviously we knew what happened in Anthony Joshua fight. He got knocked out 7 rounds, and that fight has an everlasting impact on him. I feel like he took quite a lot of punishment in that fight, and he has in some fights. Like, you could say he took punishment in both Chisora fights. I think the first one more than the second one, arguably. But he took him. I mean, let's take off the names he's beaten on the way to So he beat undefeated Dave Allen. I mean, I love Dave, but we know now what level Dave's at. Ian Lewison, who was overweight. Derek Chisora, who to me, he was motivated. Malcolm Tan in that American performance. Hellenius, Brown, Parker, Chisora. And I think by far 2018 was the best year in Dillian Whyte's career. I mean, 2019 started off good with Oscar Rivas. We all know that he had traces of, oh, what's it called now? It was a PED. Obviously, it was a PED in his system. Dianabol, yeah, Dianabol. And we know his jokes about the B samples and everything. But what my point is that he turned Dillian Whyte into a world class fighter. I mean, some people can say he's world class, some people say he's fringe world class. I mean, I think we can all agree that he's not elite. I mean, personally, my elite is you only give elite to the pound for pound guys. I think you can call, like, the people I call elite are Loma, Crawford, Canelo, Spence, maybe you could say, in a way. So people like that, I'd say Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua were class. I wouldn't call him elite personally, but it's what you want to call yourself. So there was rumors that apparently after the Rivas fight and Dylan to take him to court and he had to go through a dark time, he says. Mark Tibbs kind of left him out in the shadows, I'd say. Not only well, it's not as important as Dillian Whyte, but Richard Riakporhe and John Arden Jr. who have also left him. To give you context, Richard Riakporhe and John Arden Jr. both managed by Dillian Whyte. John Arden Jr. lost to Jack Allen in the English title fight. I want to say that was last summer, August time. Or was it later? I mean, John Arden Jr. went up to middleweight when really should be a super welter. But yeah, it was August. Dracula went on to face Felix Cash. It was on the Fowler Rose on the card. Right. And we can see we can read you have a Peter Fury. It's back Tibbs. It's clear, and yeah, he is right. He's very right. It's clear to see that he has improved Dillian. I mean, he throws a right hand better now. His shots are more crisp and more accurate than they used to be. But I feel that has gone. I don't know how to say it, but like since he's on this WBC title shot thing, he's changed a bit. And what I mean is now he knows he's definitely got it. I don't know something about him. But anyways, yeah. So his lawyer contacted him, told him his services were no longer needed, and I don't like that. I think he should have told him himself, but it's each to their own. So whatever you want to do. And then this article just talks about Tyson Fury and Vanderlei situation. But I disagree with Dillian Whyte's the way he went about it. But except anyone however they want to do it. I mean, even the BBC and Daily Mail are covering it. And it just goes to show how far Dillian Whyte's come. You can argue if he's a pay-per-view star or not. I personally think if you're gonna put him on pay-per-view, you got to make a stacked card. No, it doesn't have to be stacked. I mean, cards similar to the Joseph Parker Dillian Whyte fight. That's the best card I've ever watched, and I will always say that. I mean, Joshua Ree's card was pretty good. I actually enjoyed that. But when you had Anthony Fowler sparking up Craig O'Brien, you had Ben rematching Payne, or you had Katie Taylor and that American woman, forgot her name. Shizuo Attack, obviously Dillian Whyte and Parker. You know, that's the best pay-per-view I've ever watched, to be honest. And to be honest, I think you can say he's a I don't know if you can call him a pay-per-view star, but he's a pay-per-view fighter. Yeah, I just think that you gotta give him a stacked card, like you gotta give him a detailed card. What I was saying was even the Daily Mail and the BBC covering this. Mind you, it is BBC Sport, but yeah, sorry guys. I mean, what was I saying? I'm gonna have to watch it back. You can argue if he's a pay-per-view star or not. I personally think, to be honest, I think you can say he's a roast was even Daily Mail and BBC covering this. Roast was even Daily Mail and BBC covering this. Yeah, I was just saying like. Yeah, I was talking about you know, Daily Mail and BBC covering. It does show where he's come. Obviously, he's nowhere near the popularity of Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, etc. You can even go to Wilder for an extreme example. I'm not even trying to make out he's as popular as them do, but you know, Wilder does, because it was pure punching power. He has a lot of casual fans back then. Is that all of the article, or is it just not loaded tidy? Article can't be that short, surely. Yeah, it just gives us context on. So that is your article. Great. Yeah, and Mark Tibbs has offered plenty. I mean, he is way better than I think his old self I would have lost against Parker. You know, and I always forget, guys. If you want to look at Dillian Whyte's top wins, I mean, when we take a look at his resume, it is one of the better resumes out of the top heavyweights. I mean, Joshua's resume is better. You could argue the Fury's resume is better. Personally, this is where I don't want to say I'm a Fury hater because I'm not, but I prefer Joshua purely because he's fought consistent guys. Like, to me, yes, you can be two great long reigning champs, but is that enough? Like, you take on regular top 10. I admire someone for taking regular top 10 guys and losing, then you know, just fighting mostly bums. And retaining undefeated, that's just my personal opinion. Everyone can have very different opinions. But yeah, but I do think that the sacking of Mark Tibbs is very I don't like it. It's quite. It's just, for me, there's better ways to go about it. There's way better ways to go about it. Anyway, we'll go skip through boxing news. Quickly, when we go into the UFC, we'll probably have some detailed. Anthony Joshua Tyson in UFC 4. Just make a new boxing game, like. Just make a new boxing game. We'll talk about Shakur now. 4-man lightweight tournament for mandatory challenger. So I assume that's gonna be Tegu, the Manuel Tegu, yeah, or Tago, whatever you wanna say. Berinchik. Top 6. Always compose to Selby. I'm gonna watch. Well, hopefully I am still watching Selby Cambosis due to collide October 3rd. I hope I get crowds for it. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna try and pull this off. I mean, you got Garcia, who's number 2 rated. I don't know what he's doing. I'm not even gonna talk about Joel Miller. Stevenson vacates 126. I heard that the other day. Yeah, if you vacate the title and move up, you're automatically number 1, and that's why Usyk is Joshua's number 1. It's just a rule they go. People might not like it. I mean, Dillian might certainly didn't like it. But yeah. It is what it is, isn't it? Yeah, so he's number 1, so he could fight Jamil Heron. Jamil Heron, I know that's his name. I don't know. Jamal or Jamil. Jamal. I'm gonna go Jamal. That fight could happen. I mean, Jamil Heron said to take Carl Frampton first, I believe. Take on. See how that fight goes. Jamil Heron's actually fighting this week, and he's defending his title. But it's against like a. I don't know who he's fighting, but some poor off position. I can't think of off the top of my head, to be honest. I think the guy's had 5 losses. 6, Jonathan Aquendo. Lost to Lamont Roach. 10. Jesus Quella. Jesus Quella. Got knocked out in the third by Javonta Quella. I think I watched that. Abner Mares when he was quite thing. So yeah. So We see how Stevenson does at 130. I think. Obviously, I'm a fan of multi-weight champs, but sometimes I think that for example, you've got Javonta and Broner. I was watching Javonta's that little clip with Ivan Redkach, or Redkach, whatever you want to say, and you look good, right? Well, it's easy to look good in sparring if you record the right bits. I don't agree with recording sparring in a way, but each to their own, I suppose. Yeah, he sparred Ivan Redkach, and he just looked a bit tubby, you know. Like, he is a stocky guy anyway. He's 5'5", but he just looked a bit. No, he must be like weighing 145 normally or something. Maybe 150 as an extreme. So yeah, Visual Ortiz Jr. He wants to fight Maloney. He wants to fight Casimero. John Real Casimero. That's the guy who beat He beat Ted, didn't he? And he also beat flyweight. A flyweight. He beat Charlie Edwards for the IBF title. Kate Taylor. I leave no doubt on rematch with Delphine Bassoon. If they made that fight, I mean, they might need one more fight to make that card. Like, that card's looking. I don't think that card will get many buys. I'll buy it because I'm a little bit stupid. I mean, I just want to guarantee myself a 1080p HD. You know, I don't want to watch a 480p stream. To be honest, I'd rather spend 20 whatever it is now. I don't even know how much it costs anymore. So last fight, Katie Taylor went up and beat Leonardo 2 over 10, and Leonardo 2 made a fuss in a post-fight press conference. A lot of people thought Taylor lost. Some called it a robbery. I had in 96-94 Pursoon, but it's not a robbery, I think. Like, some rounds were close rounds, and you can have them either way. So, robbery's overused. Like, when I go on to UFC, I'll have a rant about that. There's not much boxing news, really. Not much boxing news. Brad Forsyth beat was a good fight. I mean, I was half in it and half off it. What I mean is, I was half concentrated on it, but a bit. I think the judges had a 8-4, 8-4, 9-3, so 116, 112 twice, and 171 lamb. Was it? I mean, 116, 112, yeah. I think that was about right, to be honest. You maybe could add a 115, 113. However you wanna look at it. Well, Mayweather beating with Rising, so we're gonna chuck another stupid, not another stupid person, but another midget in front of him, probably. Tackling Forrest now. I watched stuff like that in the morning. I did try and stay up for it, but I fell asleep in the co-main. And he looked alright in the first 6 rounds on his toes jabbing, because he has got a long arms, 80-inch reach for a 6'1" guy. It's quite big, and yeah. And he tried to bounce on his toes because he's heavily muscled. He gassed a bit. Lost 4 rounds, 6-10. You could say Forrest took a 3-1. So it was 7-3, I thought. I mean, 6-4, 7-3. I mean, 8-2, maybe not. But it's really up to whether you want to do it. So, Kamaru Usman defeated Jorge Masvidal last night in what I thought was a bit of a boring fight. I admit I'm more of a casual in UFC than I ever would be in boxing. I mean, I'd say UFC. I would call myself casual in UFC, but I do watch it quite a bit. It's just I don't like boxing. I'll read articles daily on it, and I'll watch fights daily. UFC is not something I watch 24/7 like boxing. I'll watch it when it's on. I like boxing. I'll watch anything. I'll watch the shit cards like MTKs. When the pay-per-views, but in UFC I mainly just watch pay-per-views. If they got a good fight night on, like Darren Till's fighting Gastelum, I'll watch her because I like Darren Till. He's just a loud scouser and it's quite entertaining. So Kamaru Usman, or Kamaru as Bruce Buffer called him, that's funny, beat Jorge Masvidal, and yeah, you could say Masvidal took on 6 days notice, but he trains he keeps himself in good shape, you know. I think he had kind of an idea he was going to take the fight. Gilbert Burns tested positive for coronavirus. Would I say I'm a UFC casual when I look at it, actually? You could say I am, and if you said I am, I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you. But I wouldn't call myself a hardcore UFC fan, where I'll watch. I mean, I know a bit about it, but I don't know near as much as boxing. Like, you would call me in between the casual and hardcore. And yeah, I thought this was a great opportunity for Usman. Even though he's a wrestler and he likes, I thought he had a great fight with Colby. And I thought with Jorge's profile vast increased over the last 12-18 months ever since he beat Till. You know, I thought maybe Usman could have another good one here, but it wasn't. It was a I don't want to say boring, but it was. And yeah, I mean, boxing, I don't get bored. I appreciate the 12-round masterclass. I appreciate safe defensive boxing. I appreciate wars. Everyone loves a war, but and that's why I feel like a hardcore is, yeah, you have sometimes boring fights, but you learn to appreciate that. You appreciate defensive 12-round boxing like Anthony Joshua Ruiz. I appreciated Smith and Ryder loads because I thought Ryder's feet and his hand placement was good. It was excellent that night, and I really appreciated the work of Ryder that night. But in UFC, I'm not really a fan of wrestling. I'm a fan of but excessive. So like we seen a Kamaru and Jorge in a clinch for what 10 over 25 minutes. Could be more, and I can't think of a top of my head. And I just found it a bit boring, to be honest. Somebody renamed the UFC to the Ultimate Foot Stomping Championships. I'd find that funny. Yeah. I scored it 49-46. I thought the Masvidal had a good first round, even though Usman had him on the floor for a good minute and a quarter. I thought that he didn't get dominated on the feet that round, but he got comfortably beat. And I thought Masvidal had, took that round. But then from then it was just, I wouldn't say one-sided, but because of Masvidal's reduced gas tank, you would think it was one-sided, to be honest. Last 20 seconds were fun, mind, because you could know Masvidal can bomb people out of it. So yeah, if Masvidal had a training camp, he would have been more accurate on the feet, I think. You could see his leg kicks were brilliant, and the kick to the body was excellent. As it always is. I mean, against Nate Diaz he showed up, but Nate Diaz I think is a tad past there now. He's not as angry as he was at one stage. And yeah. No, but there's not too much to say about it. I mean, personally, I think Jorge Masvidal not his reputation, that's the wrong thing to say. I think his popularity is a tad overrated. I think that in popularity, Conor McGregor's clear first. You could put Jorge second if you wanted to, but I think you got people around him like Khabib. I'd say Khabib got a lot of popularity off the Conor McGregor fight, but his style isn't a popular style. So I mean, like, for example, the Poirier victory was him laying on him for 15 minutes or what have you. I think his style is really boring, so his style doesn't appeal. I think Izzy's style is real Adesanya. He's got a good style. He's like a style bent. He's like similar to Anderson Silva. Maybe not quite as good as Anderson Silva was in Anderson Silva's prime. Now I know they fought each other and Izzy won. But a prime Silva, it was a different fighter. So we go on to the co-main now. Volkanovski retains the featherweight title on a split decision. 2 judges at a 3-2. Volkanovski, 1 judge at a 3-2. Max Holloway. Coming into this fight, I thought Holloway's hunger disappeared, to be honest. I mean, I always seen him on YouTube playing Warzone. What difference does that make? I don't know. I just thought maybe he concentrated too much on other things in the fight. And the first 2 rounds, I was like, shit, he's on it. And like the first 2 rounds, he had a good, brilliant first 2 rounds. I admit I missed the third. So I don't know what happened. Apparently it was a Volkanovski round. So I took what the judges said. And I thought Volkanovski sneaked the 4th. Just sneaked the 4th. I mean, if you said to me, would you give a round to Holloway? Or if you said to me that you give a round to Holloway, I wouldn't say to you, oh, that's wrong. Because I think you could give a round to either of them. It depends on what you like. And yeah, I thought it's not a robbery. Whoever says a fight is a robbery is a fool. Close fight. 4th round was close. Apparently the 3rd round was really close. Says in this article the 3rd round's close on the 4th. the fight could have easily ended up 4-1 Holloway, or it could be 3-2 Volkanovski. It depends what you think. It really does. Petr Yan beat Jose Aldo. Aldo, I don't like Aldo at 135. I think 145. At this stage in his career, is he better at 135 or 145? I mean, I don't know if I'd give him a chance against bloody Volkanovski. I mean, he's already got beaten by Holloway. I just think that he's past it now. And do I think he should retire? Kinda, but it's really... I mean, I don't think he's been the same fighter since after one McGregor threw him in like 10 seconds. So yeah, the event as a whole was good. I was half asleep for the Andrade Rose fight. I think that Usman needs to improve a bit on his striking. I mean, Jorge, some people call him George Masvidal. So Masvidal, I'm sure he had a couple of pro bouts, didn't he? Yeah, he had one. Joseph Benjamin. Majority decision. Should we have a look at Jorge Masvidal's box track? Just for a laugh. What image have I got in him on you? No image. I got almost 5'10" on you, and he was a middleweight. Yeah, he used to be lightweight, see, didn't he? Yeah, the guy was a journeyman. There's a big difference between doing a high level. There's a big difference between a high level boxing, the UFC, and being high level boxing. It's like Conor McGregor's a huge example. He's probably one of the best boxers in the UFC. He's just put him in against the best boxer, arguably not of all time, but put him in one of the best boxers of the last generation, and he got banged on, really, didn't he? I don't want to come across. This may sound over the top. Personally, I think that there was a bit of hype train surrounding Jorge, and I think that's slightly over now. I mean, the guy's 35, soon to be 36. How long is he actually going to go on for? That's my question. I think he may have 1 or 2 years left in him, so maybe he picks himself up a couple of wins. I mean, let me try and look at the UFC welterweight rankings here. You got Leon Edwards, who looks like he's the guy who's going to take the next shot, Usman. Got Covington, who that would be a big money fight because Masvidal's bit of popularity now when Covington's outspoken less. Or you could have go down the rankings a bit. If he wanted to, I mean, you could have a rematch with Nate Diaz. I think people would see that again. I mean, how old's Nate now? Nate's 35. So he's younger than Masvidal. Yeah, but really, he's been in that. Well, yeah, he was out for 3 years, wasn't he? It's really, really whatever, but you could have a rematch with Nate. You could have a match with Colby. I think the Colby Jorge fight's a good fight. I mean, outspoken, I don't like him. I think he's a prick, to be honest. They're both roughly the same height. Reach-wise, I think they're similar. Colby's a wrestler. I'm surprised he didn't take. See, they were both wrestlers. When you see NCAA Division 1, they're all good fighters. I'm sure Daniel Cormier is one of them as well. Yeah, I think I don't like him. He just comes across as cocky, sometimes. That would be a good fight, though. I think that would get a lot of people going. Is a main event worthy? Maybe. Am I clicking on the right thing there? I'm interested to see what happened in the why he got stripped. No, I don't know why. Anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream now, guys. Thank you for watching, and I may do these weekly or fortnightly, it depends. But thanks, guys. See you soon.